I go over what was covered and my thoughts on the latest behind the Sims. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims news video. So the behind the Sims covered The Sims 4, including the latest roadmap, The Sims Mobile and Sims Free Play. There was a Project Rene update and information on new merchandise for The Sims coming later this year. If you just want to see a summary of what was covered in the Behind the Sims, EA has a blog post, which I will link down below. If you want to hear my thoughts on what was shared and some speculation of what I think might be coming, then stick around. So what excited me most about the Behind the Sims was the announcement of another stuff pack, which we're actually getting the trailer for this Thursday. It is called the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. And the newest members of the Maxis team developed the pack. They are in Europe, along with some longtime members of the Sim team, which included Sim Guru Graham and Cheyenne. That was the name that they gave. So the trailer, as I said, was Thursday. It is at 8 a.m. Pacific, which is 11 a.m. Eastern, and I will link it down below. You'll be able to see what time that is in your own time zone because it is already set up as a premiere. And they talked about, the inspiration for the build by. That was what Cheyenne covered. And it was inspired by Europe, i.e. the European team. And it includes a dish drain over the sink, which is something that we don't really see in North America as much. So they also said that there's a whole lot of stuff in this stuff pack. New small appliances. They said appliances plural, but they only mentioned the waffle maker, which is coming with a variety of waffle flavors. One was a Nordic flavor inspired cured fish and dill, and another one more familiar to North Americans would be chicken and waffles, though I can't say that's something we have up here in Canada. And also the blog post only mentioned the waffle maker too, but the appliances plural made me think it was more than just the waffle maker. More on that later. New ways to make money, new ways of cooking, new build buy items, new create a sim items, and so much more. So also new for base game, coming in the update that's preceding this stuff pack, is cooking filters, which is another thing I'm very excited about. I was actually just playing last night and my sim was going to make something and I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a long list, because when your sims have high cooking skill and you have a lot of packs, there's a lot of foods. So the new filters, from what I could see, are you can see everything, of course, as the first, but then you can filter by vegetarian, lactose-free, meat, fish, and sweets. And I actually wonder if the lactose intolerant trait will be moved from cottage living to base game, just because they have that filter, just like they moved the vegetarian trait from city living to base game. Anyways, I'm guessing that the screenshots they shared were with the new stuff pack installed, because the new screenshots I noticed showed prepped ingredients, i.e. prepped vegetables or prepped seafood or prepped meat. So I'm wondering if one of the other new small appliances, because it seemed like there was more than one, is going to be a food processor to prep those ingredients, though I'm not really sure what you do. You just use a food processor for the meat and the seafood, but whatever. It's Sims. I also saw dough and batter shown as ingredients for some of the things, so I was wondering if we'll get a stand mixer to make that, or it's just something that they just are going to prepare, just like they do prepare things in the game anyways, but maybe. Also, another thing I noticed, that the table that the sim was selling food from at the end of the little clip included pizza, a couple of pizzas on there. So I'm wondering if we're going to get the ability to make pizza at home, because it doesn't actually make a lot of sense to buy pizza than to turn around and sell it on a table. You can, but it didn't make a lot of sense. But also, along with that base game update, we're getting free the cupcakes. We're now going to have the ability to make cupcakes in the oven, and we are no longer going to require that massive cupcake machine. Another yay for me. I don't make cupcakes at all. I mean, my Sims don't actually eat the sweets very much anyways, but I definitely don't make cupcakes. My Sims do not have the cupcake machine. It is a massive fun story. When I first got Sims 4 in the early days, when it shortly after it came out, I had playing with a household and I grabbed that cupcake maker out thinking it was like the little cupcake machine that in previous Sims the kids could use. That was the only reason I grabbed it, so my kids could make cupcakes, and then they couldn't even use it. It took so much room. It was pretty funny. I haven't used it very much in all my years of playing Sims 4. Anyways, timing of the stuff pack, they don't mention that. Obviously, we'll find that out with the trailer on Thursday, But since the trailer is Thursday, I seem to recall that oftentimes the trailers would be a week before the release of stuff packs, but it's been a very long time, so I don't remember for sure. So I'm wondering if it's going to release like next Thursday, September 21st, or if there's going to be maybe 2 weeks between it and that it's going to be releasing Thursday, September 28th. Either way, I expect the base game update to be the Tuesday before the release, so that would either be next Tuesday, September 19th, or the following Tuesday, September 26th. So with past stuff packs, we would have a live stream. So I'm wondering if we're going to get one for this, and if they'll announce that after the trailer on Thursday. And if we do have one, I'm wondering, since most of the team is in Europe, if they're going to pre-record it, just like they did with the Horse Ranch live stream. So the other thing they announced, as I mentioned, was the roadmap for the next season, which covers September to December, i.e. later September to December. So the theme was embrace the hustle and bustle, also get busy was referred to at the end. So in addition to the stuff pack that was noted, we are also getting another expansion pack this quarter, which really surprised me, the third one this year. So they mentioned a neighborly expansion. I don't really know what that could be. I saw a few people think it might be apartments. Perhaps apartments we can build ourselves, unlike what we currently have in the game. That would be very interesting if that was the case. We had that in Sims 2. I don't know that it was quite the same in Sims 3. I never really build apartments in Sims 3, so let me know if you played Sims 3 and built them, how it was. I'd love to know. Also, for the first time in forever, no kits in the upcoming roadmap. We did also get a more at the end, which who knows what that will be. I did actually notice that when they were playing the background sound, that at one point there was a car honking, similar to either with the last roadmap or maybe it was the Horse Ranch trailer. I can't remember which of the two, but I remember noticing it there. So of course, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, cars are coming. But, then I calmed down a little bit. And now I don't know. It could just be the Sims team teasing us. But listen out, let me know if you can hear it yourself. They did also quickly touch on Sims Mobile and Sims Freeplay. Sims Mobile is celebrating Halloween, 100 years of Hollywood, and a brand new story that revolves around a gardening gnome and a bickering couple. Sims Freeplay is celebrating Day of the Dead, and they have a new update, Pastel Pastimes. They did some Sims lore about Johnny Zest. They didn't really come to any conclusions to my mind, but they did sort of go, did Nancy have Johnny with someone other than her husband? And then they talked about sort of the land grab, how they've always been rich and whatnot in the past throughout various Sims. And they also shared the Simlish word of the day, which was Yob Hugaroo, which means you're hungry, which is very suitable for the theme of the stuff pack. After that, we got a Project Rene update. So Sim Guru Lindsay spoke about Project Rene. There is still no release date. It is still in the early stages of development. They mentioned that in the blog post and they mentioned that in the Behind the Sims. But they did say that Project Rene and Sims 4 will coexist and they will support them both for the foreseeable future. And they plan to bring more exciting content to the Sims 4 community, i.e. at the same time that Project Rene is running. So when Project Rene comes out, which is in the future, it will be free to download. It won't require a subscription or a core game purchase, and it won't require energy-based mechanics. So they're doing that, so they said, to make it easier to play with friends so that, it's not a barrier to entry to play the actual basic game. So they also reiterated that it won't start with everything you have in Sims 4. It will grow over time, which isn't a surprise. That's how all Sims games have been. And from the blog post, they said that it will grow over time. We want Project Rene to be strong and cohesive from the start. While it won't begin with everything you have in The Sims 4, we plan to add new experiences and content to Project Rene over time. Beyond regular updates to the core game, we will sell content and packs. So content, I'm wondering kits or something like Sims 3 store, but we plan to change this up a bit. For example, basic weather may be added to the core game for free for everybody. And in the future, a pack for purchase may be focused on winter sports with activities like ice dancing or snowman building competition. It's important that with Project Rene, we lower barriers to play and give all players the broadest shared systems because that feels like the strongest foundation for us to grow from. Now, that sounds, good in theory, but also one of the barriers to play is the equipment you need to run it on. So does that mean that they're planning on having it run on such a basic computer that it's not actually going to run very well? Anyways, that's just a little quick thought. Nothing there. So they did say there's lots of different phases of development, which can include everything from closed invites and small public tests to large-scale early access options. And again, they mentioned, as I said before, that they are still in the early stages of development for Project Rene, so i.e. don't expect it anytime soon. So the last thing they showed or talked about is that there is a new shop for Sims merchandise coming this holiday season. You can sign up to be notified when it's available. There was no date, obviously, mentioned. When I first tried to sign up, Canada wasn't listed. I'll show you there the countries that are currently there at the time that I recorded this, but it's there now at the very bottom underneath Other, which is another option if your country isn't there and if you want to sign up. So if you want a link to all of these things, as I've mentioned, they'll all be down below. So let me know what you think of all of the news. Are you excited for any of it, all of it, some of it? I'd love to know. But that's going to be it for this video. Likes and comments are always appreciated and they really help with the algorithms. Thanks very much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.